Happy New Year. January 1st, today's my son's birthday, and wanted to kind of make a good start for the year. And we got like 6 or 8, maybe 10 projects going on. Very, very blessed. But yeah, trying to get all this stuff done. So here in Hawaii, the humidity is super high. I can't spray until it's about 65% humidity, and today is spray day, 62. So I just got done spraying 5 guitars. This is a Koa 8-string Trident. This is Nimmer's Icarus. I had to do some touch-ups on the paint job. I wasn't happy with it, so resanded it down, resprayed, and applied another 4 coats. Gonna level sand and polish her up. This is for another customer, Sultan. This is a Chiron model. This one is made out of monkey pod. This is for my lady Blue. This is her custom base where it only got the bridge pickup. This is the Norfolk pine without it being stained. That's the Vesta mark for the goddess. And then this one, sorry you only see the back, but this is chocolate albizia. This is for Randy, my cousin. And then we got a couple Chirons. My very first hand build mango body. I'm ordering stuff for it. And this is my Trident crack through trick set neck. The big island, the biggest island of all the islands in Hawaii, the Hawaiian chain, is where I live. There's a lot of rain, there's a lot of moisture, and I can't spray the guitars. I think I might have said it already, at 65% or lower is beneficial for me. And now I want to take you on paint prep and what I do, and we go from there. And let me show you what I use, how I mix, how I dance, how I prance, all that good stuff. But this is the most fun part, because that means the body, after the paint is done, we can start building it, So getting really close to it. Sorry about all the talking, but tough. My channel, my TV. If you want to watch it. But it's exciting. So I want to share all the process with you as much as I can, and we'll go from there. Here we go. I use from Sherwin-Williams this product finish. And what this does, it's a retarder for this cab acrylic lacquer. This is a bright gloss or a luster. And you can get this at Sherwin-Williams. This is not the only type of lacquer you can use, but this one hardens for tables and stuff like that. So it's pretty durable. And then this is, again, a retarder. So what I do is when I'm doing my mixing for my gun, you want to make sure you have some kind of water catcher that catches the water so it doesn't shoot water on the paint job. This catches water and oil. You have a pressure gauge on your gun set to the gun's rating, and this gun here is needed to be set at 45 psi. And how I mix the paint, sorry it's connected. I already mixed it, so I'm not gonna show you that part. But when I fill up this container, I think it's a pint, I put 1 capful or 1.5 capfuls of the retarder into the lacquer paint, and I stir it up. And what that does is, when you add the retarder to the mix, is that it slows down the drying process. And you got to play with it, get what you need and how it works for you. But if I didn't use the retarder, when I spray the guitar, by the time I did like the sides of the guitar, and I started spraying the sides, and then I hit the top, all the overspray that would go back into the sides would be like powdery bumps and stuff like that, because it was drying so quickly. I couldn't spray the guitar fast enough to make it perfect. So when you add the retarder, that gives me a little more time to spray the whole guitar and let the lacquer still be all wet around when I'm done spraying the sides, the back, and the top. And when I'm done, the retarder starts to harden, but it hardens as one solid wrap. Now, instead of the sides hardening, and then when I spray the top, I'm adding overspray to the sides, it kind of just all blends and melts together. And when you work with lacquer, it actually melts into the layer before it. So when you have one coat of lacquer, and you spraying it, and you see a little imperfection on it, don't worry about it. Put your first two to three coats on it, and when you add the second coat, it's gonna melt that level to the next one. So sometimes you're lucky and it just flattens itself out. So you gotta kind of, make sure you gotta go through a lot of trial and error. I stained this a couple of days ago. I put it in my humidified room to kind of cure and bake into its goodness and juices and suck into the wood and dry properly. And now what we need to do is prep the surface for paint. After I'm done and I'm moving it around, I could have ate a pizza or something and touched the guitar and I put oil on it or some kind of a scratch my hair and there's like face oil and stuff on there. When you spray the lacquer, it's not going to bond to that area well. So before I really start getting into the cleaning of the already stained body, I use Crimson Guitars mineral spirits. I put a handle on it. I mean, it's not perfect, it works for me, it does the job, and I like to get it on there and I flip the guitar over, and again I have something soft, the towel holding it. I add a little spacer from the heel, so when the body touches the heel, the paint stick and the lacquer touching the two pieces together don't get stuck together and I crack it off when I take it off. So creating that gap when I spray, it gets the spray on this edge of the neck as well. So I like to put a little spacer there. So I try to center it in there, try and touch the back, but leave it away from that heel marker where the humbucker neck pickup goes. And I go in here ever so gently. Try and get the screws in. This is just wood screws going through a wood paddle. Just for me to hold when I'm spraying. I don't have the fancy spray table and the twisty machine that you're allowed to leave the guitar and spray it around and spin it around in a circle. I do it with my hands. I grab it, I twist it, I do what I gotta do with it, So, now that I have the handle on, after I'm cleaning the guitar, I can touch it and go and spin it around and wipe it down. I'm not gonna be like touching the body again. So I take a folded up blue shop rag, right? I get some regular mineral spirits, not the kind you drink, and I douse up the rag, clearing my throat, and doesn't matter where you start, I just, I can go start from the side, just wiping it down. It's going to take off some paint. Don't freak out. It's taking off the extras that sat on top. So when you get your rag and you look and you go, hey, it's blue. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Don't worry. See the blue? That's going to come off. That's all extra that didn't get stuck into the wood and didn't bond and look darker than other places, and that's fine. Totally fine. Okay, now it's in the back. Well, I'm trying to keep the side with the ink to do the whole body the first time through, and then I'll flip it over. I'm not sure if I caught it in my heels. I'm gonna just wipe it again. Again, this is the open green, so usually it sucks in a lot. And took off the extra, and it didn't take it off of the body, you know what I mean? So now I put it back down, I fold it, I move the paint side away. I don't need to add any more mineral spirits. I'm just gonna do another wipe. I'm holding my paddle, putting it down on the blue sheet. You're gonna pick up a little more, and that's fine. It may look purple to you guys right now, but it's blue. I did 2 guitars like this already. So now the body of the surface is prepped and is clean. Okay, so I'm gonna put that down on a clean sheet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to air dry it with the air gun, and what this does is it takes off any of the material, the lint that was from the towel, kind of dries off the mineral spirits. Then I go, after I'm done, I'm gonna go hang it up and I'm gonna start prepping my gun for spray. Okay, now evaporated the mineral spirits, and this is the before. You got some light areas, some dark areas. But when I spray it, it's gonna darken up. Ta-da! Okay, so let's talk about safety. When you're spraying these types of chemicals, if it goes into your lungs, it's going to harden them and crystallize them. So what you want to do is really protect your airway and get a respirator, get the proper filter for spraying these types of chemicals, and prolong your life when spraying guitars. So let's get going with the paint, shall we? Let's do coat number 1. All right. So after I spray it, I usually spin it around so any of the heavy areas of the lacquer kind of fall into all the crevices due to all the designs on it. And we shall take a look. I like to lie it down on its back so it kind of melts nicely. This is coat number 1, and this is what we're looking at. This is going to be a natural finish. So it's going to be shiny, but it's going to still look and feel like wood. And another thing is that when you get a spray gun like this, there's adjustment points in the back. And you really got to play around with it to get it to spray the right consistency. If not, it gets blotchy. You know, so you kind of got to fine tune the gun to spray to how you want to apply it. The faster the paint comes out, the faster you got to move your hand. The slower the paint comes out, the thicker it builds up. It's easy to make runs on the guitar. So you kind of want to find a happy medium when you're spraying. I am not a pro. I think I'm pretty good. I enjoy what I do. So I'm not going to tell people how to spray, but at the same time, those are the variables you're going to end up trying to figure out when you start spraying. So I really suggest you start off with just a piece of wood and practice spraying, practice the adjustments, get to know how your gun works. All right? We're going to start doing coat number 2. here's coat 2. See, the second coat is melting into the first coat, and it's building up that layer. This one bad mama right here, boy, I tell you what, kids, woo! I don't want to catfish anybody, but so when I give you the shot when it's wet, it looks like more of a glass, but when it dries, see, this is dry, I can touch it, but I don't want to because oils. So how I usually check is I'll go and touch in the cavity or on the stick. Don't touch the body. But this is what it looks like dry. Get it to coat number 3. So this would have been the third coat, but while I was spraying, I don't know if you guys can see, a bug flew in on here, and so now for me to fix that is I need to let this dry. I need to let it harden a little longer than 30 minutes. And that mask face. What I gotta do after that is I gotta kind of re-scuff the surface, sand out the bug. Oh man, but that's all part of the game. So I gotta let it harden. I'm gonna sand it down. I might just scuff up the whole thing again and blast another smooth coat over it, and just kind of do a light level sanding on it and get her finaled up. But honestly, it came out great. Looks great. Those minor little things like that happen. We will be, hopefully this year, building a paint booth where I can spray 24/7 in a more controlled environment where little bugs don't come and fly in your work. But that's how it goes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna record or video the sanding process and respraying it again because it's kind of the same thing. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna take a 320 or 400 grit, scuff up the bug, get the bug out, level sand the top again, scuff up all the sides and back just so the next coat I spray on it, it bites to it. And honestly, it doesn't really matter with lacquer because it's gonna melt anyway, but common practice, scuff up, scratch it up so the next paint can bind a lot better. But I hope you enjoyed that whole process with prep, body, and paint. It was a fun little episode. Sorry about the video, sorry about the talking. I am still trying to explain my process, what I'm thinking, how I'm thinking, for other people that may watch the video or watch this segue of the Fearce build for Sammy McPherson and go, oh, I want to try and build something. Or maybe they want to buy a kit guitar, you know, where they can build it themselves, but you're going to have to spray it. You're going to have to paint it. You're going to have to do some kind of finish on it. And hopefully this kind of helps other people figure out the process and find a better way, easier way, you know, but for me, it works. I'm happy with it. I love it. I love the end result. Again, this is a natural finish, not a glass finish, but it's still going to be shiny. See you guys on the next episode where I'm pretty sure it may be fret job. We'll see. I think that's kind of it. I got to go back to the neck. Mahalo. Happy New Year. Latest.